Welcome back. Today I'm really excited to be talking about a novel that I loved and I highly recommend this. And I'm talking about this novel called La plus secrète mémoire des hommes by Mohamed Mbougar Sarr, who is a Senegalese author. The title translates roughly as The Most Secret Memory of Men. And this novel was in the news recently because it won the very prestigious literary prize in France called the Prix Goncourt. And it was, in fact, the first time that an author from sub-Saharan Africa won this prize, which has in the past rewarded massive authors like Proust and Simone de Beauvoir and so on. So it's a very big deal. And it is, in fact, a very worthy winner because in the last couple of years, I hadn't loved the winners of the Prix Goncourt. And this one, I absolutely loved it and highly recommend it. So I'm sorry, again, to English viewers who might not be able to read it very soon, but for French viewers, I do recommend this book very highly. It's the story of a young Senegalese author, much like the author of this novel itself, who, while he's writing in Paris, comes across an old novel by another Senegalese writer, which was written in the 1930s, and it's a mysterious book that's gone out of print. The author's disappeared many decades ago. Nobody really knows much about it. This novel is sort of passed in insider circles of people who might have a copy. And in fact, the novel is never really described, aside from a few opening lines, which give some sort of mysterious indication of what it's about. But all that we know is that the novel is really deeply impactful to all who read it. And it has a very powerful hold, emotional hold, psychological hold. It's difficult to assess what it does to people, but as the story continues, we start seeing the full toll of this novel on those who read it, and it's very exciting. So the first thing I loved about this novel is the structure. In terms of the way that it takes you from many different times and places, whether it's in the 1930s in France, where this young Senegalese author is writing this mysterious novel, whether it is in Senegal to explain the origin story of this young man, and he has quite a tragic origin story with a very complicated relationship with France and the colonial identity of Senegalese people in France. And then there's also the modern day with contemporary writers trying to fit into a literary scene which doesn't necessarily accept them fully because they're African. And so in that sense, there was so much authenticity. It was so genuine, this book, because you felt that the author was writing about themes of identity, of past colonialism that were very important to him and that really impacted him. And in fact, that's what I particularly liked about the novel was, in a way, this authenticity was almost meta, because here's an author from Senegal writing a book about an author trying to impress French literary society and hoping to win a prize. And of course, this book has won a prize. So the book is about the book itself in a way. And I loved this overall theme of, this struggle of an African author trying to write an impactful novel that will resonate in France, but without losing its origin story, without losing its sense of Senegalese identity. And as the novel evolves, and as we start understanding who this mysterious author was and what this mysterious novel involves, we start understanding that it's about writing in a way that respects the origins of these authors, that respects the culture of how they do their storytelling, And the shape of the actual novel starts changing to reflect this evolution and to reflect this discovery of what was important about this novel. So while I was reading this, there were so many moments where I was like, wow, this is so cool. This is so amazing. There are a lot of different discoveries that suddenly, like a flower that opens, you suddenly realize, now I understand. And it's done in a very subtle way, not in a way that the author, makes you want to know why a certain question is being asked, but the answer comes, and you realize there was a question, and the question is answered. Now, in terms of other references that it reminded me of, I don't know why, but one of the references that kept coming back to me was the film Incendie by Gilles Villeneuve, who just recently directed Dune, and it's his first feature film, and it's vaguely similar, but also very different. But there's a sort of origin story that helps to explain a lot of things in the contemporary day, and a lot of moving backwards and forwards, a lot of brutality, and I thought I thought there was some similarities there in terms of the shape of the novel actually shifting to reflect something, a different point of view and a different origin story. In that sense, it sort of reminded me of my favorite novel of all time, which is The Magus. And I thought that was really very interesting in the way he did it. And then in terms of the plot device of a mysterious novel written by a mysterious person, I was sort of reminded there by another of my favorite novels, which is Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, where there is a mysterious video created by a mysterious group, and the whole plot revolves around trying to understand what is this mysterious piece of art that has such a deep emotional impact on people who watch it. So I just loved this book, and there's not much else I can add here aside from I thought it was deeply original. I thought it was really very powerful in its authenticity, in the way that it really conveyed something so important about the importance of different points of view, that different authors come with different origin baggage, and they want to express that origin baggage, and the themes of colonialism mean that sometimes, in France, that's maybe not as accepted as it should be. So, but then this book won this giant prize. So, in the end, the joke is sort of on French literary society. I don't know. I just found it very, very powerful, and I really recommend it. I hope that at some point they are able to make, I don't know who they is, but that somebody's able to make an amazing English translation, and I would certainly hope that they can make an amazing movie out of it, because it's really an amazing story with a powerful theme that I really strongly recommend.